Work Besties, hello and welcome to my everyday skincare and makeup routine. I will say, this is my skincare routine every day, regardless of whether or not I choose to wear makeup that day. But I feel like a good makeup starts with skincare, so that's how we're gonna go through it. I use something on my under eyes. You can kind of use whatever you want. Just to give it more so hydration, I'll use like active ingredient stuff to help my under eyes at night. I kind of just tap that in. And then every morning, vitamin C. This is like the one skincare thing I swear by. This is a little pricey, the SkinCeuticals one. The Drunk Elephant one is about half the price, and I found it to be quite nice as well. But just a couple drops on the face. Honestly, if I could only have one skincare product for the rest of my life, it would probably be vitamin C. And then you're gonna wanna let this kind of absorb all the way in, which depends on your skin. Mine absorbs fairly quickly. And then a moisturizer afterwards. I really like the Drunk Elephant Protein Polypeptide Cream. I've been using it for probably like a year and a half. Every single morning I find makeup goes on it really well, and it's the perfect, oh my gosh! Do you see that spider in the sink?
No.
Wow, that threw me off. I just didn't see it coming. Okay, I guess he's joining. Anyways, you take some moisturizer and it kind of locks in the vitamin C serum. But I found certain moisturizers are a lot better for the evening and makeup doesn't really sit nicely on them. And this one I found to be quite nice. Never forget the neck. Whatever skincare you do to your face, always do to the neck. Okay, and we're just gonna let this absorb. I usually say like 2-3 minutes, depends on your skin. Sliced my finger on a bread knife the other day. Oh, it hurt so bad. So I'm recovering. That's why if you see the Band-Aid, that's what that's from. I tend to not wear a lot of like lip color or gloss or whatever during the day, especially if I'm just working from home. This overnight lip sleeping mask from, oh gosh, how do we focus this? Laneige, I've been using for years in all different flavors and I really like it. And that's what I use kind of just like as a gloss on my lips every single day. Concealer, it really depends what you want. I don't like something super high coverage, and this is a corrector and serum, so it also has good stuff in it by It Cosmetics. I've been really liking this one, but again, I'm not going for like full coverage under the eyes. I'll kind of dot a little bit under each, and then it comes with this little applicator. I just kind of dab it in under the eyes, and then I let it sit, so I'm not blending at this point. I'm just kind of moving it around to let it get more dispersed and kind of become a little bit tacky, and then I'll blend it. I'll take a tiny beauty blender and I kind of just dab till I feel like it's where I want it. I'm not gonna do any liquid foundation, but if I were going to, this is my go-to, the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I feel like it's all over social media. You've probably heard about it, but I do really, really like that one. But it's not part of my everyday routine. That's like if I want a little bit more, a little bit extra. Cool. Next step. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't. A little bit of contouring. This is the Hollywood Contour Wand by Charlotte Tilbury. I also really like the Rare Beauty one. It's more of like a cream stick. But for this, I just do like a couple little dots along the cheekbone and a couple up here. Not too much contouring for like an everyday kind of look. And then this has probably been my favorite makeup brush I've ever got. It's the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending. It was $4 on Amazon. And then I'll just kind of dab it in to start. I don't blend it, I just kind of disperse it in the area. And then I'll go back and keep kind of working it in, because I find sometimes if you work it too fast, it all just goes away. And I'm kind of pushing up into like the hairline. It gives me a little bit of a glow, especially at this time of year when I haven't really seen the sun. Cool. Done. A little bit of color for the cheeks. So I have this Ilia multi-stick in Ladybird. It's just a nice little cream blush. You can actually use it on your lips as well, hence multi-stick. I just find it gives a nice little bit of color before I put a powder over top, and then I'll just tap it in. You can also use your fingers for this too. And I like to apply my blush like top of my cheekbone and then up almost to the base of my eyebrow, or the wing of whatever it's called, the end of your eyebrow. This, I think I've been using it since high school. It's the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in Medium Plus. And I also think I've had this random brush since like high school. So my brush game is not strong, but I like what I like. And I'll use this to kind of just go over the face. I find it still keeps that nice skin glow. It just removes more of the like greasy look, oily look. I don't know how to explain it. And then transitions it to like a nice glow. Bring it down the neck. And then I don't really touch too much of my under eyes with the big brush. I'll use this Beauty Blenders thing. I don't know names for stuff. And I'll tap it under my eyes. And then wherever you find you get a little more shiny. See how that just kind of didn't mattify the face? It still left a nice glow, but like a controlled glow. I like it. All right, brows. I change stuff all the time for brows. I'm currently using the Milk Kush Brow Lamination, but I've also just used hair gel and a spoolie that works just the same. I'll work the brows up just to give them a little bit more shape, and so then they stay all day, I find. Something like that. All right, the face is pretty much done. Sometimes I'll take a powder blush if I feel like I still need a little bit more color, and I'll go over that same area that I did with the cream blush. But for an everyday makeup, I'm not too fussed. And then I like to set it regardless, just because this is the Prep and Prime Fix It by MAC. This is kind of like my everyday go-to. I don't always put mascara on, but I always will curl my eyelashes. Tweezerman eyelash curlers I think are elite. My lashes actually stay pretty curled all day if I just do a little bit of curl to them, but I will show you what I use if I'm doing a little bit more that day in terms of mascara. If I'm using mascara, I'll go to the base and I'll curl that multiple times. If I'm not wearing mascara that day, I'll actually curl the base, the middle, and then the ends of the eyelash. And I find that that stays better if there's nothing on them. All right, that should be good for now. What do we need? We need mascara. This is like my everyday go-to, the Idol mascara from Lancome. That's what it's called, right? Lash Idol. I also really like the Ilia eyelash mascara, and Rare Beauties is quite nice, but it's, excuse me, I have the hiccups. It's a bit like fuller and chunkier, and I would wear that more if I was going out. I should probably do the wing before this if I'm going to do a wing. So my version of an everyday wing is taking eyeshadow actually, and like a really fine tipped makeup brush. Oh good gosh, please focus. And I actually get it a little bit wet, the makeup brush, and then I'll just find like a dark eyeshadow shade that I would wear as an eyeshadow as well. This is one of the Dior palettes. And I'll just kind of tap it in there. And then I will go basically using this at the end, and I'll just kind of swoop it up, and I need to get closer to the mirror for this. Super, super subtle. This is also very forgiving. If you like mess it up a little bit, you can just wipe it off and start again. I find it just gives that added zhuzh to the makeup look. You can also bring it a little bit down your bottom lash to make it look a little bit more cohesive. Mascara time. I start more with the base of the lashes, and then with each coat, I work my way up. And you never want to like go in and out because it puts so much air and bacteria into it. You just go in and you give it a little, whoop, little spin. It's probably so boring to watch. And voila, this is kind of my everyday makeup routine. And the lips, I just keep that lip mask on. There you have it. That's my go-to, and most of the days, I don't even bother with the eyes. So it takes me less than 5 minutes, just do the face. I'm not even gonna bother with the hair today because I only have a couple virtual meetings, and I don't really like to work with my hair down. Thanks for watching. I will try to link everything below, so in case you missed what product it is, or I did an awful job at focusing on it, which is highly likely, you can go find them there. But thank you for being here as always, Work Besties, and we'll chat soon. Toodaloo!